Welcome everyone as we finish the third parak of Succa and start the fourth parak. Wow, moving right along here in Masechta Succa, and we're sponsored by Yo Klugman and family for their Gesund Parnasa, Berevach, and Nachas, by the Fisher family, Nishmas Basi Bas Ravet, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Pero Bas Ruvain, and also Nishmas Rabbi Rachmel Geshem ben Rabbi Yehuda, Lefu Shalem Afel Yomis ben Chayesara, and for the benefit of Ram ben Yamin Benish ben Malki Yehudis and family. So the Mishnah tells us, Mishnah Tesvav, Mikabelas Isha Miyad Beno or Miyad Baila, the wife can take the lulav hadas and arava from the hand of her son and the hand of her husband on Shabbos, umarzir tolamayim b'Shabbos. And remember when they shuckled it in the base Mikdash on the first day, when the first day fell out on Shabbos, she could take it and return it back into the water. Rabbi Yehuda b'Shabbos machzirin. If it's on Shabbos, they could return it back into the water. B'Yom Tov ma'isifin, in Yom Tov they could even add some fresh water. Or b'Moed machlifin, and on Chol Hamoed they could switch the water. Kadna yedel naneh, a child that is of the age where he knows how to shuckle the lulav in the four directions and up and down, chayiv b'lulav, you're chayiv to already start being mechanechim in the mitzvah of lulav. Now, lulav v'arava, the lulav and arava, shisha v'shiva. Some years it's done 6 days, and some years it's done 7 days. They did the lulav on Shabbos if it fell out on the first day of Yom Tov. So if Shabbos fell out on the first day of the Yom Tov, then they did it that year 7 days. If Shabbos fell out on a different day, so then they didn't do it on Shabbos, so then they did it on 6 days. Now, Arava over here refers to the mitzvah of encircling the Mizbeach with the Arava. Now, they did that on Shabbos if it fell out on Hoshana Rabbah. Any other day, they didn't do the Arava around the Mizbeach on Shabbos. So therefore, again, the Arava sometimes was 7 days if Shabbos fell out on Hoshana Rabbah. If not, it was 6 days. HaHalel v'Simcha, the saying of the entire Hallel, and the mitzvah of Simcha, which is to eat the basar of Shlomim, because ain't Simcha ela b'basar kachim, Shmoina is it applies all 8 days, the 7 days of Sukkot and Shmini Atzeres. Sukkah v'Nisach HaMayim, the mitzvah of Sukkah and Nisach HaMayim is Shiva 7 days, because Shmini Atzeres is a regular b'fnei atzmai. There's no Sukkah on Shmini Atzeres, and there's no Nisach HaMayim. V'hachalil, the flute and the other musical instrumentation of the Nisach HaMayim, which was not Doicha Shabbos and it's not Doicha Yom Tov. So sometimes Chamisha and sometimes Shisha. Sometimes it's 5 days and sometimes it's 6 days. In other words, if Yom Tov fell out on Shabbos, so then there was 6 weekdays, so then it's 6 days. If Yom Tov was different than Shabbos, Shabbos was on one of the days of Chol Hamoed, so then there's 2 days that they didn't do musical instrumentation, so then there's 5. Now, even though there were many other musical instruments besides the cholol, besides the flute, however, the flute was the lead instrument, and therefore, that's why it mentions the flute. As I said, there were a lot of other musical instruments. The flute was the dominant sound, and it was heard over the other musical instrumentation. Now, I want to point out something. If you notice, there's 7 mitzvahs mentioned in this Mishnah. Lulav is 1, Arav is 2, Halal is 3, Simcha is 4, Sukkah is 5, Nisach HaMayim is 6, and Cholol, that's the music, is 7. This is again in the 7th theme of Sukkot, right? The 7 days of Sukkot, which we said represents the 7 clouds that went around Klal Yisrael, 4 on the 4 sides, 1 above, 1 below, and 1 that went in front to kill the snakes and scorpions and level the ground. There's 7 Ushpizin. There's 7 components to the lulav, right? The 3 hadasim, the 2 aravas, the lulav, and the esrog. That's the theme that runs throughout the Yom Tov of Sukkot. Again, we're looking for a sponsor for the Chumash share, 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. We want to thank you very much for joining us for this very pleasurable evening of Torah, and have a wonderful night.